Welcome to the Instant Trivia Podcast, episode 1447, where we ask the best trivia on the internet. Let's get started. The first time Ronald Reagan voted for a U.S. president, who did he cast his ballot for? FDR. In which country is the city Marrakesh located? Morocco. Who wrote the novel Dances with Wolves? Michael Blake. REM and millirem are the units used to measure biological risk associated with exposure to ionizing radiation in the U.S. What comparable units are used in the metric system? Sieverts and millisieverts. What was the first slogan for Oreo cookies? Oreo? Who is the subject of the book Longitude by Dava Sobel? John Harrison. What compound makes up around 60% of the human body weight? Water. In 2007, what morning network TV program expanded from 3 hours to 4? The Today Show. Who was the first president to pardon a turkey? Harry Truman. Who chose her new name in 1953 to honor a Danish surgeon named Christian Hamburger? Christine Jorgensen. Which ear did artist Vincent van Gogh cut off? Left. The scientist Bernard Vonnegut, brother of famed author Kurt Vonnegut, discovered what commercial use for silver iodide? Rainmaking. In 1918, Woodrow Wilson addressed Congress with a speech laying out how many points? 14. What is the capital of Morocco? Rabat. Which author set most of his book in the year 800 and 2701? H.G. Wells. Which Indiana Jones movie was first released in 1981? Answer: Raiders of the Lost Ark. Who was the first person to suggest daylight savings times? Answer: British-born, New Zealand entomologist and astronomer George Vernon Hudson is credited with the concept of daylight savings time. How many standard bottles of wine are there in a Nebuchadnezzar? 20 bottles. Where is Eternal Flame Falls? New York. Paul Gauguin was a French painter who painted landscapes and people in what region of the world? French Polynesia. In Roman numerals, what number does D represent? 500. What TV show featured the fictional The Mystic Knights of the Sea fraternity? Amos and Andy. Chevrolet sold a souped-up version of what car as the Z24? The Cavalier. What was Hitler's primary justification for invading Russia? Germany needed more space for its population. In what year was the Twinkie invented? 1930. Where was milk chocolate invented? Switzerland. In the 1876, Daniel Peter developed a smoother chocolate by adding dried milk powder to the mixture. Which character killed Polonius? Hamlet. The first atomic bomb test split an atom of what fissionable element? Plutonium. Invented by James Caleb Jackson in 1863, which was the first cold breakfast cereal. Granola. Who created the character of Paddington? Michael Bond. What is the fruit of the rose? Rose hip. In the TV series The Dukes of Hazzard, what was painted on the top of their car? Confederate flag. On what sea did the Battle of Jutland take place? North Sea. Sagapo means I love you in which language? Greek. Who wrote the 1897 horror novel Dracula? Bram Stoker. How many feet are there in a nautical mile? 6,076. What are Tracy Thorn and Ben Watt collectively known as? Everything but the girl. What Tennessee University was the first college to field a men's basketball team in 1893? Vanderbilt. What letter in the alphabet is the only one with more than one syllable? W. In which country is the source of the river Danube? Germany. Mr. Deeds hails from what fictional town? Mandrake Falls. What old TV puppet show was hosted by Buffalo Bob Smith? Howdy Doody. How many people died in the Korean War? 2 million. What area on the tip of South America has a name which translates as Land of Fire? Tierra del Fuego. Who painted the 3rd of May? Francisco de Goya. Velcro was inspired by what natural items? Answer: cockleburrs, invented by Swiss engineer George de Mestral. The name comes from the words velvet and crochet. What letter appears on the left end of the bottom letter row of a traditional QWERTY keyboard? The letter Z. The Columbia River flows into what body of water? Pacific Ocean. Who was the Greek god of sleep? Hypnos. An equinox is marked by what notable occurrence? Equal day and night. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for more exciting trivia.